All right. Welcome back to the channel, subscribers. Man, it's happening again. We hyping up another fight that it has no purpose. Canelo Alvarez versus Sergey Kovalev. Reports are out that because of the scare that Sergey Kovalev had, now is the time to make the Kovalev versus Canelo Alvarez fight. And I want to talk to you about why I disagree with that. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. Subscribers, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. Much love to everybody over there on the Patreon. Got more videos coming up, and we're changing the format to the Patreon videos, similar to what we've been doing over here. So that's in the work for you guys over there. Got a lot of really great content coming. Also, thank you to everybody that supports in the live streams. We had a great live stream for the fights this weekend. Also, the OG Boxing Talk, ones we do through the week. Thank you guys so much for your support. Super chat and Cash App as well. Man, it's a lot of thank yous, but you guys are very important. This video is dedicated to one of my longtime subscribers, Matthew Valentine. I hope you're well, my friend. Thank you for all the support. Look, I like a big fight like everybody else does. I like to know that there's a lot of people that are interested in a fight, that when the fight is over, I'll be able to go on a live stream and have a bunch of conversations with boxing fans. I'm really happy when there's, the next day that you can do the same thing, that the conversation carries on through the week before the fight, the week after the fight. That's really is an excellent, excellent thing. I enjoy it tremendously because I'm a boxing fan. But sometimes boxing tries to force what they think is a super fight down your throat when it really is anything but. That is the case with Canelo Alvarez versus Sergey Kovalev. Sergey Kovalev is a known commodity. Canelo Alvarez is a very well known commodity. There is something impressive about Canelo Alvarez willing to go up to 175 pounds. Started at 154, one belts at 160, got a trinket at 168, so he would be moving up to fight Canelo Alvarez at 175. Fight Sergey Kovalev at 175 pounds. But what good does that do? What good does that do when Canelo Alvarez has not fought the people that he's supposed to at 154? He has not fought them I'm sorry, man, my chair, I keep hitting this desk. He's not fought the people that he's supposed to fight, all of the people that are supposed to fight at 160 pounds. Yet wouldn't have fought anybody at 168 pounds, but he'd go up there and fight the weakest link at 175 pounds, in my opinion, a Sergey Kovalev that basically just almost got knocked out by Anthony Yarde, did get knocked out by Alvarez, and did get beat twice and knocked out by Andre Ward. The guy is clearly on the downside of his career. Andre Ward said it in the fight. Said it after the fight. From the Sergey Kovalev point of view, that now is the time for Sergey Kovalev to go ahead and fight Canelo Alvarez and try to cash out, because it's only a matter of time before Sergey Kovalev gets knocked out again. He's definitely passed it in the ring. And although he did look very good against Anthony Yarde, that's Anthony Yarde. That was Anthony Yarde. That was his first. That was a difficult fight for Sergey Kovalev against a guy that had never had a step-up fight before. So we don't really know how much is left in the tank of Sergey Kovalev. So it would seem to me as if Canelo Alvarez is not is cherry pick too strong a word for a guy a couple weight classes above you? Or is it more of a calculation where he believes that the guy is he's diminished just enough where the size advantage that Sergey Kovalev has won't be enough to keep Canelo Alvarez off of his body. Canelo Alvarez is a very good body puncher. He's also very good at standing right there in front of you and making you miss and countering you to the body. So, is that what Canelo Alvarez is thinking? So I mean, I'm a big Canelo Alvarez fan, but I don't want to see that before I would see even a rematch with Gennady Golovkin at 160 pounds. And I don't care anything for a Gennady Golovkin rematch at 160 for Canelo. But there's Demetrius Andrade right there. That is a good fight. That is a fight that I don't know the outcome of in the weight class where Canelo Alvarez is a champion. Canelo Alvarez also has that issue with the WBC champion, Jermall Charlo, that he vacated his belt, got a trinket handed to him in exchange for it, but pretty much vacated his belt or was stripped of his belt to avoid fighting Jermall Charlo. And I believe that Jermall Charlo and Canelo Alvarez is as big a fight as Sergey Kovalev and Canelo Alvarez. And before you guys say, who is he fought? Who is Jermall Charlo fought? What? He doesn't do any numbers. What numbers have Sergey Kovalev done? What numbers have Sergey Kovalev done? Sergey Kovalev was in the biggest fight Sergey Kovalev was against Andre Ward, and that fight didn't do particularly well at the box office. And that was when he was undefeated, with a lot of buzz around him. So, and anybody that knows for the most part, anybody that knows Sergey Kovalev knows who Jermall Charlo is. But Jermall Charlo is a young, strong fighter, who has not been beaten yet, who is in the same weight class as Canelo. If there's going to be a fight, push for that. Push for that type of fight for Canelo Alvarez. Not a fight where it does with this weight skipping nonsense. If Canelo Alvarez does beat Sergey Kovalev, is Canelo Alvarez going to stay at 175 pounds and fight Beterbiev, Bivol, Wojciech? Is he going to be taking on those guys? That's why I say that Sergey Kovalev is the weakest link at 175. 175 has Bivol. Bivol, in my opinion, is slightly unproven, but he's still young. He's still a very solid fighter. Beterbiev is a very solid fighter in his prime, dangerous fighter. Wojciech is a very, very talented. I think Wojciech is probably the best of those guys at 175 pounds. Wojciech, fast hands, very high work rate, very shifty in the ring, very good fighter. Is Canelo Alvarez going to fight Wojciech? If not, then if he beats Sergey Kovalev, then what's the excuse next? Well, I'm just going to go drop back down to 168, and I'm going to fight, in the words of 78, Liam for this fight. And constantly bump around different weight classes, always trying to figure out what the best way to get one of these belts are. So Canelo can increase his name recognition, can increase his accolades, but yet never have anybody else in those weight classes ever be able to say that they were the best in the weight class because somebody with a bigger name got a trinket off somebody they knew that they could beat. When it comes to who's the best fighter, you don't know that unless you fight and you clear out a division. And I don't see Canelo being very interested in doing that. A lot of times people will just say because the guy's got the bigger name, that means that he can beat we know, look at the resume. Look at who Canelo Alvarez has fought and look at who Demetrius Andrade has fought. It's obvious who's going to win that fight. So why have it? We'll just go off of our feeling about what would have happened if the fight had been made. And I think a lot of this is that the pushing of the narratives being pushed by the promoters and the media that do their bidding in exchange for their access, in exchange for their press credentials. There's no reason to make a Canelo Alvarez versus Sergey Kovalev fight. It's not it's a big curiosity, but the real fight is Demetrius Andrade. It's the winner of Beterbiev and Gennady Golovkin. It's Jermall Charlo. They're all everything Canelo Alvarez needs to be to establish greatness and to make great fights for fighters are right there at 160. There's no business for all this hopscotching. There's no reason for all this hopscotching to continue. And this is coming from a big Canelo Alvarez fan. And you know, if you're familiar with this channel, I have never hated on Canelo Alvarez. I think the guy is one of the best fighters in boxing. One of the ties, not right now, he's my number 2 pound for pound. Vacillates between number 1 and number 2 between him and Terrence Crawford. But it is what it is. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.